Wow, the Star Wars The Force Awakens trailer just dropped, and man, I gotta talk about it. It just ramps you right up just watching this trailer. And that's pretty much my initial reaction to it. It's just like, wow. Okay, so after that being said, and I've watched it 5 to 20 times, I felt like, yeah, I'm going to make a video about this. You don't get to see any of the main characters like Han, Luke, or Leia, which is okay, I guess. But you get to see some of the 2 new characters, 3 if you count the bad guy, with Boyega, and he's in this clone armor, or stormtrooper. And you get the impression of, okay, what's going on here? Because he wakes up almost like a scene out of like the opening of Lost. You know, something's going on. He looks really disturbed. Something else about that scene is that, okay, if he's in a stormtrooper suit, I thought the stormtroopers were all clones. And, well, this is obviously not the case, but when you think about it, eventually sometime the Empire would have stopped the clone manufacturing, because I'm sure that's really expensive. So that's why I believe that's justified for him to be in the stormtrooper suit. And I think maybe something else is happening in the scene, because he turns and he looks away, and it looks like, you know, there's something else going on in the background. Like maybe he was on a ship, he fell off or something, you know, or something's attacking him. That's something that's going on in all of the shots of this trailer, is that it's pretty much people looking at something or running away from something. And that's even evident in the second shot that we get of this new droid, and it's rolling towards something. It looks like it's looking at something and then rolling towards this hub. And that brings us to the stormtroopers on this ship that looks like they're getting to disembark on some kind of a mission. I like the new look of the helmets. I thought that looks good. And I can tell that it does look like those are real people in real suits. I hope it is. And if it's CGI, well, it's good CGI. But I think it's people in suits, which is a step in the right direction. And then we get to Daisy Ridley's character on the speeder, and she's also looking away from something and then getting on her speeder and flying away. Now, there is something interesting about these 2 shots. One, she's getting on, she's looking at something, and she starts it up, and then you can see that there's like this, I think it's her weapon. I think it's a lightsaber weapon too. It's on the side of her speeder when she fires it up. So I think she's in the middle of a fight, perhaps. And then when she's zooming towards the port, we can clearly see that that weapon is not on the side of it. So I think there's like an altercation of some kind going on with that scene. And then we get a shot of the X-Wings taking off from, I think it's just over this lake, and the water's coming up behind them, the thrusters. That just looks spectacular. Now we get to the big shot of the bad guy walking through this winter forest, and we hear his voiceover through pretty much the entire trailer, and then he ignites his lightsaber, and it's this weird kind of hilt to it. The cross hilt is what they're calling it. But something struck me odd with it when it lit up. 2 things actually. Number 1, it didn't sound like the normal snap hiss of a Sith's lightsaber. Number 2, it doesn't look as crisp as a Sith's lightsaber should be. Now, just a quick history on this. I know some people will know this better than I do, but lightsabers are made from, I think they're called kyber crystals, and they come from one known planet in the universe, and the Jedi had pretty much owned that planet. And the Sith couldn't access that planet because it was well protected. So they synthesized their own kyber crystals, and that's how they got the red color. And what was significant about it was that it was very unstable. It was risky. And that's the vibe that I get from when you watch that scene and you hear it. It's like snapping and it's like crackling. It's not refined like a true Sith sword would be, because when you think about it, well, that knowledge probably gets passed down from master to apprentice, and since there is no more master around to teach an apprentice how to do that, that, you know, maybe some guy who's ventured down the dark side has tried to put this sword together. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. I want to hear your comments about this as well. And that brings me about one more point. I need to say one more point about that whole bad guy thing. You know, it's interesting because we figure that he's going to be this guy who's got like a mask on, and he eventually will look at Darth Vader's helmet. And that's fascinating and everything. But, you know, we're all forgetting that Lupita Nyong'o's character was, you know, that she was cast in this movie as well. And a lot of people have speculated that she's going to be almost like an Asajj Ventress character, like a dark, like female Sith Lord. And if that's the case, and if she's in this movie, then who's this guy? And it's possible that this guy is just kind of like, you know, the secondary bad guy. You know, the kind of the guy that gets the ball rolling, but then gets eventually shown up by the true bad guys. Which wouldn't shock me, which was also, but you know, that's just all speculation. And then of course, the final shot of the trailer is of this spectacular shot of the Millennium Falcon flying around some TIE fighters on a desert planet, which could possibly be Tatooine. Two things about that shot. Well, it's possible that Han is not flying the ship. Two, you got to recognize that it has a new antenna on there. It's not round anymore. So, knowing that, we can assume from here on in, any shot that we see of the Millennium Falcon will have that kind of antenna on it. If it has the round one, then it's probably a fake trailer or a fake picture. But those are my thoughts of the Star Wars The Force Awakens trailer. One. If you've liked what you've seen, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe.